Broadcasting live from Demir Gate number 1 on the plain of Ravnica. This is Tap Tap Concede. Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Tap Tap Concede. I'm James and I'm joined this week by
Cameron
and
Nelson.
And we are here to answer your questions, but we'll get there in a few minutes. Just a quick note. You saw it on last week's episode. You're going to see it here again. We apologize for the delay on the nickname episode. It should be the next episode, and then we'll probably actually be taking a quick 1-week break for Desert Bus. But next week's episode should be the Ravnica nickname episode. The support and the names that you should have given us far exceeded what we were expecting. And it turns out when you're also prepping to send 4 people away to a convention halfway across the world, it's hard to go through all of those in a timely manner. So it's coming, we promise. It will be there. But today we're going to do a crack pack. We're going to answer some questions that we asked for on Twitter. Kind of a chill episode, but first, let's thank our sponsors. First up, of course, we've got cardkingdom.com/LRR. Make sure to put in that /LRR. It applies the affiliate link. It lets them know that we sent you. It lets them know that there is value in continuing to support us because we send you there. And we appreciate it. And you go there in droves. We've seen the numbers. There's a lot of you who shop at Card Kingdom, so thank you. They're just a great place to go buy all of your Magic needs online, whether that be singles or sealed product or paraphernalia, as I believe the kids call it.
Sealed product if you're in the U.S.
Yeah, sealed product only if you're in the U.S., but like deck boxes and sleeves and playmats and dice and all that jazz. It's all there.
The truth is, you were going to go to Card Kingdom anyway because it's so great. But thank you for putting our affiliate code in.
I do appreciate that. I do indeed.
Yeah. Don't make the mistake I always make.
By not putting our affiliate code in? Yeah, that's fair.
Always enter your own affiliate code.
And yeah, hey, I want to just give a really quick shout out to Card Kingdom and a thank you for, I was a part of the Chalice charity tournament this past weekend. Or I guess last 2 weekends ago by the time you're seeing this. Right. It was a ton of fun. We raised a ton of money for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Puget Sound. They put on a really great show. It was really fun being at a Magic tournament and a charity tournament that I had zero responsibilities other than showing up and playing the game. It was a fresh of breath air. Wait, it was a breath of fresh air.
Now I no longer know how that sentence goes.
Yeah,
we watched you like Dream Crush Josh Lee Kwai on stream.
Yeah.
I tried to catch your match against Chris Van Meter, but then my kids showed up.
I lost the match to CVM in the 7th round of the block party, which was modern, when I built Jund, and I built a.
That was your 4 different.
That was my.
Right? Or
it was my 4 different sets.
James told me to make him a deck for this, and I just told him to play Mono Black Vampires, which he didn't do. I don't think.
And then I asked another.
I asked a better player.
Then I asked Jeremy White of North 100, and he delivered a 75 in about 3 minutes flat.
What?
Yeah, he just sent me the 75, and I was like, all right, I'm going to make a few tweaks just because for the lulz. And he's like, yeah, that's cool. Like I had 3 of each.
Possible?
3 of each Titan.
3 minutes?
I mean, it wasn't 3 minutes, but it was fast.
But he just wasn't at work.
He was in Vancouver.
He was in Vancouver?
He was
really?
away.
Was he bored? Jeremy, I want to know why you just suddenly had time.
I don't know.
To immediately write
wasn't
out
it just
James's deck list for him, because I started thinking
Wasn't
about
it just 16 mana dorks and 12 Titans go?
No, it was not quite. So it was there were 8 mana dorks because I was playing birds and
Cobra,
and I had 6 Titans total, 2 of each across Jund. I was playing.
So so everyone's catching up and they didn't know what the Chalice was. James was playing this charity tournament where he had to build a deck that consisted only of cards from Future Sight, Zendikar,
original Zendikar,
M11,
and Shadows over Innistrad. And I built Jund because why wouldn't I want to Jund them out? It did not go very well, but it was a fun deck, and it was by a factor of 2 times, I believe, the most expensive deck people built. Like most people's deck were like $200, $300, $400.
Yeah.
Josh Lee Kwai's deck was about $600.
Yeah.
Mine was $1,200.
Well, yeah, because you had 4 Goyf, didn't you?
I had 4 Goyfs. I had a couple Liliana of the Veils because I had reached my goal, so I got basically 2 wild cards.
Oh, I was gonna say,
which I used on Liliana of the Veil.
Okay.
I had all the fetch lands. I was playing Olivia, Mobilized for War. Is that what it's called?
That card's not expensive. So, but
No,
yeah.
it's not expensive, but man, was that card fun. Haste
The card's
Titans.
sweet. Yeah, you
yeah,
discard
yeah,
a card
yeah,
and get in with your.
It's so
Prime.
good.
Did you play Primetime and Valakut?
No, I wasn't playing Valak.
Okay, because yeah, you didn't.
I
You're
decided
playing 3
to
colors
get-
instead. But
Yeah,
You could
yeah.
have just played green red Valakut.
Yes, I could have.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
'Cause- wait, do you have access to G-Wave from?
No,
No.
that's Scars.
No,
Oh,
that was
Scars,
Scars.
right.
Yeah, there is no doubt in my mind I could have built a much better deck.
Right.
And I think, unfortunately, my knowledge of Modern is not great. Like, I just straight up, it's not great. So I went up against CVM, who is playing red-green, pretty much just red-green aggro. I went up against Ashlyn, who was playing Eldrazi Ramp.
Oh, that's impressive.
And then I was playing Michelle, who was playing. What's the card that you take everything off the board and then all your creatures from your graveyard come back into
Living
play?
End? Living
Yeah,
End.
she was playing Living End.
Wait, no, you had that set. That's from Future Sight, or the one that cascades.
It's yeah. She
Oh,
was.
it's from Time Spiral. My bad.
It's Time Spiral. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it's from
yeah.
Time Spiral.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so she was playing
I thought
Living
that cycle
End.
was from the third set.
Yeah, so
My
she
bad.
was playing Living End, and I had this absurd turn where I was doing the Olivia ditch pitching, and then she's just like Cascade, and I'm like, okay, and I didn't know what she was playing at this point,
Oh,
and she
okay.
just like threw almost her entire deck before she finally found Living End, and I was like, what's this do? Okay, everything goes away. You get your dorky like 4/5s and whatever,
Cycles, yeah.
your cycle cards back, and I'm like, damn.
Were
all right.
you just handed these 4 sets, or was there a draft?
There was a draft.
Cool.
Yeah, I drafted them.
Okay.
All right. So, anyways, thank you, Card Kingdom. It was a ton of fun.
Thanks for coming.
It was a great time, and it sounds like they'll probably do it again next year. So hopefully we can field somebody else from Lure for that. So, but moving on, patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun. We couldn't do any of this without the support that you guys give us over there. So thank you so much. Go check it out if you haven't yet. Again, not possible without the Patreon. All right, hey, let's crack a pack and then ask some.
Lucky 13.
I didn't want to count to 17, but I'll count to 13.
Let's
2,
just open that pack of Beach Boys
3,
collectible
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh man, it's not English. It's Odyssey.
Like Italian
Odyssey.
Odyssey or
It's
something.
Italian Odyssey, I guess.
Maybe Spanish.
Experto.
Hey, we got some
no,
love
it's-
from someone.
it's
I
I
read a
think it's
comment that was
Spanish,
just like,
isn't it?
"I'm impressed with your ability to try to speak Spanish." Loading ready run.
That's very kind of
It
them.
was nice.
I
It was
don't
nice of you.
know.
Thank you.
I mean, it does
We're
say
trying.
Okay.
It's definitely
Magic
Odyssey.
L. No, on the front.
Oh,
El Encanto.
Yeah.
The
The
encounter.
Gathering. Yeah.
all right. Well, so
Yeah.
here's a
So
question.
that's Spanish.
Because Nelson is our sort of resident longtime player.
Okay.
Will he know what these cards are called? So don't look at the monitor.
I won't look at the monitor. I'll just look at the card.
Where's my mark, Paul? Is it
About there, yeah.
about here? Do you know what this card is?
No.
It's called Piper's Melody.
Cool.
It casts for a green, obviously. It's a sorcery. It says shuffle any number of target creature cards from your graveyard into your library. I mean, all right.
Fun fact about my Magic career, if you're curious, I skipped all of Urza Saga and Odyssey block just to make sure that my collection wasn't worth anything.
So you're going to be terrible at this, is
Stole
what
that
you're
line
saying.
from one of the one
Okay.
of the mothership players. This is a rat.
Yep. Good job. It is a rat. It's infected vermin. It's 2 and a black. For a creature rat, it's a 1/1. And for 2 black, infected vermin deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. That seems pretty decent. I mean,
Yeah.
it kills itself, but if you had a way to like boost its tough.
So
Well, I
this
mean,
is
like,
a fixed version of Crypt Rats
yeah,
from
Crypt
Visions.
Rats.
Crypt
Yeah.
Rats is the like actual good version of this card, where you just pay X, but it has to be black, and then it deals
Right.
that much damage to each creature and player.
Right.
It's Pestilence, right?
Pestilence is the enchantment from Alpha Beta Unlimited, right?
Yeah.
The first version of this effect, and then they stapled it onto a rat in Visions. As
This
well.
also.
Pestilence had the art that I don't like looking at.
Does Pestilence? It also requires you to pay black, right? You can't put generic
think-
mana
I
into
don't-
Pestilence.
yeah.
Can you? I don't think so. Yeah.
But so this card also has Threshold, which is actually kind of I like this mechanic.
Okay.
3 and a black, infected vermin deals 3 damage to each creature and each player. Play this ability only if 7 or more cards are in your graveyard.
So
So
you
it
actually
feeds
get
some
a
threshold.
You actually get a good rate once you have Threshold.
Yeah.
If this was common, I think it would give Crypt Rats a run for its money in Pauper.
Is that the art you don't like?
Yeah, no, I don't like. No.
It's
What's
creepy.
not to
Yeah.
like about this very pretty
You
person
know
in a
what?
toga?
I just realized that those are bandages. I assumed that this person was at a toga party.
I thought it wasn't a toga. I thought they were sick and they have a
No,
toga.
these are bandages.
Yeah.
Those are bloody bandages. I thought, yeah.
It's all so much worse now than it used
Yeah,
to be.
I thought like for the longest time I assumed that they had just made a toga out of like their grandmother's upholstery.
And then died. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next up,
Okay.
and I've
Is
put
that
the,
one?
Oh.
That's way better. Isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's some sort of white hate spell on red. That's clear from the art, but I'm trying to remember which one it is exactly. It's not like warmth.
no Sphere of Law.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
all right,
3
all right.
and a white for an enchantment. If a red source would deal damage to you, prevent 2 of that damage.
Blah blah.
I tried.
That's a weird card.
It's a really good picture. It kind
As
of
you
looks like
might-
negate.
As you might guess, this was a cycle.
Yes, that makes sense.
Oh, this is some sort of Kavu.
Nope, it's a beast.
Kavus are beasts, aren't they?
Yeah, but
Oh, it's Ember Beast.
It's
All
Ember
right,
Beast.
all
2 and a red for a 3/4. I'm in. Can't attack or block alone. Still in.
Yeah.
This is just better than the card than Mog Flunkies. It's
got a
or
reprint.
not Mog Flunkies, but
Mog Flunkies is 2 mana with the same amount of power.
Yeah,
it's the
but-
same ability, isn't it?
But what's the current 3 mana?
Bodyguard.
No, the Mentor? The Mentor pumps the guy who's attacking with. The Mentor is basically an Ember Beast.
Does the 3/3
Wojak
have Mentor?
Bodyguard?
Yes.
Wojak Bodyguard?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it does have
Wojak
it.
Three
Bodyguard.
that can't attack or block alone.
Yeah,
it has
you're right,
Mentor.
you're right, you're right.
But Ember
Yes.
Beast has been reprinted in like some core sets or something. Like it's been brought back to recent sets.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
fair.
Ember
That's
Beast
fair. I
is-
forgot this had Mentor.
Ember Beast seems like an entirely adequate card.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. Boop.
Oh, Syncopate. Hey, original friend Syncopate.
Yeah.
Original.
Piece of cake. I knew this
So
one.
X blue, instant, counter target spell unless its controller plays X. If that spell is countered this way, remove it from the game instead of putting it into the owner's graveyard.
I should really-
Syncopate is that.
Yeah.
I should really pull together a old border standard.
You've talked about it for like a
Yeah.
year now. You
Yeah,
should.
I
I think
know.
it'd be a lot of fun.
The other cool thing to do is try to put together all promo foils standard, and it sort of keeps getting easier, like because as they do reprints, and you can use old promo foils.
like the only expensive card I think would be Opt.
Yeah, Kenji just put together Thousand Year Storm in paper. He did it when we were at the boarding house this weekend, and I think he had at least a few play sets of the old border cards when they were available.
It's got like shocks
kinda
and
cool.
opts and syncopate and well, I guess he probably plays Radical Idea.
I can't remember what else he was playing, but yeah.
So there's some cards you can't do.
But I
yeah.
mean, like you can also just like finish with Sheevan Dragon.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure, yeah. I mean, old border standard is super cute.
All right.
Revitalize.
Refresh.
Okay.
2 and a green instant, regenerate target creature and draw a card.
Okay.
That actually seems pretty legit.
For 3 mana.
In draft?
I think that the move
like-
from 2 mana to 3 mana on a combat trick is huge.
I agree, but it does net a card too. Like
Yeah.
it replaces itself, which is not bad.
Yeah. No, I mean.
I don't think it's
not
great,
embarrassing.
but yeah.
Yeah. I prefer the ones that are like regenerate. The thing is, drawing a card gets a little worse the more mana you have to put into it because it represents more tempo loss, right? So it's more of a straight exchange.
Right.
I like the combat tricks more that are like regenerate this creature. It also gains Death Touch.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because then you're still getting a card. It's just your opponent's card they spent mana on. Mystic Fanatic.
Mystic Zealot.
Okay.
Zealot.
Zealot.
I don't know why it's Zealot. 3 and a white 2/4. It's a Nomad Mystic? Cool. Has threshold, gets +1/+1, and has flying if you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard. I mean, with threshold, this is pretty legit. 3/5 flyer for 4. I'll take it.
Otherwise, it's just a vanilla. 2/4.
Otherwise, it's just
Yeah,
a vanilla
pull it
2/4.
for the locks.
But that's fine too. Like, I don't know. It's okay.
3/5 flying is great stats for 4 mana.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
I mean, like, it blocks the Ember Beast.
What do you
It
think this
destroys.
card?
It definitely destroys a land, and then
Correct.
has what? Just flashback?
Yeah.
To destroy a land.
It's Earth Rift, 3 and a red.
right.
Destroy target land, flashback for
Okay.
5 red.
I mean, I figured out what it does. The sorcery, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I could just kind of read the
Yep.
Conjuro.
All right. Next up, we've got.
Cephalid Looter.
Yeah, you got
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
3 mana, 2/1 looter. Or
Yeah.
does it target player loots?
Target.
Yes.
Yeah. Target player draws a
knew
card,
this
then
one.
discards a card from his or her hand.
Extremely excited
this
fist
get-
pump from Nelson.
Wasn't there a functional reprint of this in like Zendikar
Zendikar,
block?
yes.
Yeah.
Reckless
Explorer
Looter or something?
Reckless,
Explorer,
Reckless
maybe?
Scholar.
That might be right. Might be
Yeah,
Reckless Scholar.
then it got reprinted in Shadow's
No,
Block.
Reckless Scholar's from original Zendikar, right? Which is the one that turns into a 5/1 on the back. Is that one Reckless Scholar?
Oh,
right.
that one. Yeah, that's the original.
So
Innistrad
Reckless
one.
Scholar.
Oh, you're
yes.
right. Okay, and it got reprinted in Battle Bond, it looks like, but also that art is from like Shadows.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
from the Shadows.
Yeah, and but the first printing of this I think is Zendikar.
Yeah.
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 Cool. I do. Yeah, I remember that card. All right, next up. Ooh.
It's Ritos de la Extremanuncion.
Last rights.
Last right.
Best Skinny Puppy album.
2 and a black for a sorcery. Discard any number of cards from your hand. Target player reveals his or her hand. Then you choose a non-land card from it. For each card discarded this way, that player discards those cards.
I
Not
gave
to
this
be
a
con-
shot in Reanimator Highlander.
All right.
Oh, cool.
Did it work? Yeah.
Not to be confused with Fritos de la Extremanuncion, a delicious snack.
Yeah, I mean, Highlander Reanimator is just like Entomb, Reanimate, and like a payload, and then 97 other cards,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but
You
sometimes
mostly
it
want those
definitely
other
felt like
cards
it.
to either keep you alive or loot more, right?
Yeah,
I think. I've never actually played Reanimator and Highlander, but thinking about it, just I haven't done it.
it was boring, shockingly.
I should know this one, but I don't.
Timberland Ruins.
It just like comes into play, taps for green, or sacrifices for one of any color.
Correct.
Because it's from that cycle. I'm not sure if they ever got a name because these cards just weren't that good.
It doesn't seem very great.
Like the upside of blowing up your own land, like your land also being a lotus petal, is not usually worth having
Playing it,
not
yeah. It wasn't
like having it not getting a mana for a turn. Right?
like the temples from Fallen Empires.
Right. Like I
Or
think
at least,
these.
I mean, like because you sack them to get 2 mana.
That's right. Yeah, 2 of the same color though. Or there was also sacklands from Invasion Block that got played a bunch in Pauper Storm, and actually in Highlander Storm we've played them a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, Svelunite Temple and
Then,
Dwarven
like,
Ruins and
yeah.
stuff. Ebon Stronghold.
Mm-hmm.
So those ones are pretty good. And then there's also like there's invasion ones where it's like tap for a black and then tap and sacrifice it for like a blue and a red. So those ones are pretty sweet too because they also mana fix while ramping you.
Yeah.
But these ones, like just I think when this card was printed, maybe it was in the design space they had made Coastal Tower already, and they're like, oh, that's too good. Just into play tap duel, it's still too good. We can't let people have all this mana like they did in the early days. That was one of the big mistakes.
Yeah.
So you gotta make mana hard to come by. Okay. Oh, I
Thanos.
know this picture.
It kind of looks like Thanos. It's got a Thanos.
Is it
going on there.
Kamal's
Kinda looks
Fury?
Kamal's Desire?
Desire.
Yeah,
Kamal's
so
Desire.
1
Okay.
and a red for a creature enchantment. It has First Strike and Threshold, which reads enchanted creature gets +3/+0.
I always wondered what Stone Cold Steve Austin would look like with a goatee.
That
said-
also works too, yeah. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, sure, whatever.
Is that a goatee? It's just the little chin patch, right? Like that's what
Yeah,
Kamal's
I guess
Fury
Like
so.
a soul-
Maybe
it's like his
if,
little
if
soul
Stone
patchy.
Cold was in Limp Bizkit.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay. Gross Archer?
Yep.
Yeah, I sort of cheated.
All right.
Okay.
3 and a green creature centaur. It may block as though it has flying, so it has reach. It's a 2/3. And for green, discard a card from your hand. It gets +0/+2 until end of turn.
Took a wild guess on what Arcaro
Does-
Costano might mean.
Does this have reach now, or does it still say that?
It has reach.
It has reach. Okay,
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if reach
should.
just wasn't a thing,
That's what.
or if
Not
they.
yet, yeah.
Yeah.
When did Reach show up? It was pretty late in the game. It was definitely past Mirrodin, possibly M10. Like the new core set might have
Yeah.
started Reach. Maybe a little before that.
But yeah,
Because I think in like Shards of Alara, that spider that cycles in the Living End deck, I
Right.
think that just says it may block as though it had flying.
Really, that late?
Yeah,
Wow.
Shards of Alara. I think it's a little later than that. This one I also recognize. Okay, this just got a reprint, and instead of being this guy with the cool purple cape, it's like a dead zombie lady with no clothes on, and it's called Crypt Keeper.
Crypt Creeper.
Creeper.
1 and a black for a 2/1
Close.
zombie. Sacrifice Crypt Creeper. Remove target card in graveyard from the game.
Okay, I knew that that was the ability too. I could have told you.
To unearth its dinner, it inters itself. That's good.
So I feel like this is the best point on my resume so far for this pack of Spanish Odyssey. I'm like, I know what this card is.
Yeah.
Because I've actually kind of played it / sold it.
All right,
Yeah.
we've got a land
Okay.
as our rare.
It's called. Yeah, I mean, it's really obvious what it does, obviously. I'm just trying to remember what this one's called. It's a Catacombs.
Correct.
Not Drowned.
Nope.
What's it called? It's something stupid.
I don't even know if it's stupid.
I'm something stupid. Sorry, that's what I mean to say. I forget what it's called.
Dark Water Catacombs. 1 and tap, and you can add blue and black to your mana pool.
I knew it was something like Drowned Catacombs.
It's like half of a Karoo land.
Yeah, these are the original filter lands from Odyssey block, and so these are rare ones, the sort of sought after ones. Obviously, this fixes your mana pretty well, while also kind of isolating it into pockets. Unlike most lands, it's like you tap this land, it gives you 1 mana. You can do that as much as you want, or as little as you want per land. These ones are always stapled to another mana source, and then they made fixed versions that are like strictly better in. Well, no, they're still not quite. But in Shadowmoor and Eventide, they came out with the modern filter lands, which give you more flexibility and tap for a colorless, but still don't quite give you the like ability to make one of each color. Like Sunken Ruins can't get a colorless mana from your Sol Ring and turn it into a green or a black and a blue, like this one can. So there's a tiny pocket of available power in these old filter lands, but most people are happier to play the new ones.
Fair enough.
Because they, if you have just it'll still at least tap and cast your Sol Ring.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
I think that's the pick for me.
That was a crackback. And by the way, you'll notice I didn't actually thank anybody at the start. That is because there was no name on it, so I don't know where this came from. But thank you to whoever at some point gave us this pack of Odyssey.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. All right. So today, I thought we would do a little bit of a Twitter Q&A. It's been a few months since we've done one. They're always a little bit of fun, so I figured why not. If you didn't know about it, or if you don't follow us on Twitter, you'll want to follow at LRRMTG on Twitter. That's sort of our dedicated Magic Twitter account, and that's where we ask for questions for this. It's where we sort of sometimes live tweet stuff like pre-releases, and you'll find information there. So I highly recommend checking it out. Yeah. All right, so first question comes via Mike. Says, say WotC decides tomorrow morning to close down either Arena or MTGO to focus digital resources into the other. Which is better for the company, for the community, or for you folks personally? Arena.
Yeah, I have no idea of what's better for the company or community, but I much prefer Arena.
So I think it's totally unclear which one is better for the company, although my experience so far is that you have to put more money up front for MTGO. So possibly it's better for the company to put more resources into MTGO.
I mean, end of the day, I have no doubt in my head that if there came a point where WotC had to choose for whatever reason, and even if they could convey that to the community in a way that's like, we just don't have the choice. Like, this is how it's going to be, and some people are going to, understand and be like, okay, I get it, that makes sense. But like, I don't think there is a universe. Maybe there's a universe. I don't think there's many universes in which they don't pick Arena. Arena is,
if they have to,
100% the future, right? I don't know it today.
Digital online Magic.
Yeah, maybe of today for the next year or two. That's a harder call to make. But if you have to say, look into the future, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, Arena is where you're looking, not MTGO.
I think the community it's better for, and then I think for us personally. For me personally, it's kind of a wash. But I think definitely for the community it's better because Arena is just so much easier to get into. It's so much easier to sell your friends on getting into Arena and then playing Magic with you. So for that reason, it's way better for the community. And probably ends up being overall better for the company and us personally because I think Arena is this cool thing. It's like kind of lucky and it's, I'm sure it's the result of a lot of hard work, but finally, I think Wizards has a digital product they can be really proud of, and it's allows us to kind of spearhead into the future of more people playing Magic. I think that's what I suspect.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's members of the community, and like myself included, that want to play Modern online and Legacy online, and I don't know if that's ever going to happen on Arena.
Well, yeah, like Vintage only ever happens on like.
I mean,
MTGO.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like,
yeah, it doesn't even happen on paper anymore, right?
Yeah,
Like
well,
it's once a year or something.
Yeah. or it's impossible. Like,
I mean, I have to believe that those conversations have happened at some point, right? Like, at some point, somewhere in WotC, they've said, okay, we're going to have to address this sooner or later because I don't know how much longer MTGO, like, I don't know how much longer it's feasible for them to continue to support these two clients, right?
Right.
Because
It's
it costs money.
resources that are going
it's
into
resources
both.
and
That's
money
true.
that makes you need to go into both. And you're right. There are a tremendous amount of formats, modern, legacy, vintage, that just aren't available on Arena and probably won't be for a very long time.
I think it behooves them to try
But-
to get modern happening, but I just don't understand why they would do legacy, unless it turns out to be easy. It just seems like adding more and more sense to MTGO was always like, you know, because if you played MTGO, you know, it's like every new set you find like there's new combos, just like in paper Magic you realize like there's a new deck, and like on MTGO it's like, oh hey, there's a new bug.
Yeah.
Like if now there's these two card interactions, it just like blows up an entire event or like blows up all of MTGO. Like it wouldn't happen every set, but it's a lot of work for those guys to program the sets.
Yep.
So that really makes it a question of whether they'll want to do that for Arena, like put all those extra sets on.
Yep.
Right? And then your question is a really good one too. Will they just always have enough money to keep programming both
well, I mean, like
programs to have both sets?
I
or new sets?
imagine that MTGO and Arena both make money.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, as long as MTGO.
I mean,
keeps-
like I don't think it's a matter that MTGO is now a boat anchor.
No,
Right.
I don't think at
Right.
all. It's
I don't think
just,
so either, no.
From my understanding, there's a lot less people over on MTGO now than there was before, right? Like, I would assume that MTGO will continue to shrink to a point where, as long as they have enough people to just get the latest set on there and go, then they're probably like, that's it. So,
Like when I want to draft at 11 p.m., I'm not firing up MTGO.
right. Not anymore.
No.
Yeah.
well, didn't they? Go ahead, Paul. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, certainly from outward appearances, it seems like there's basically no shared stuff between MTGO and Arena too. So it's not like they
No,
can,
there's drafts and standard, right?
Well, but I mean, in terms of like they have to do each new set has to be made completely separately.
Oh,
for
I see.
Arena
Yeah,
for
yeah.
MTGO.
Yeah.
Yes,
The same.
those sorts
The
of
person who
things.
So it's a lot of-
programs
it's a-
Arena doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of duplication of effort.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, you're
but on the
paying-
other, Cam's counterpoint is totally valid too. As long as each platform is paying for itself, then that's just more people have jobs and they happen to be doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's not how businesses work, though.
But it's like the team that makes Arena isn't internal, and the one that makes MTGO is, right? So
No,
it's-
they're both internal.
Are they both internal?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, yeah. Duels wasn't, and like Puzzle Quest obviously isn't, but no, Arena is internal. So, all
I
right.
think if this decision comes, I think it's still really far down the line, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
All
if you're wanting to buy into legacy decks on MTGO, I still think it's probably a good time to do that.
Yeah. All right, next question. 8-bit Archer says, how do you guys feel about the more unified art direction of more modern sets? A lot of the older sets, particularly Core, have some rather funky variants with different styles. Obvious examples, Phil Folio, Rebecca Guay. Reckon we've lost some variety?
I mean, it does feel like it. Like Rebecca Guay hasn't done any new art for Magic for a long time, right? Like they still do her reprints, but I remember reading somewhere that she did not fit with their art director's vision of what they wanted the
Yeah.
sets to look like, right?
Her
Same
cards
with
don't
Phil-
look like Mage Punk, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They look
same
like
with Phil
high
Folio.
fantasy.
Yeah. And like to an even a greater extent, or to a lesser extent, we've lost a lot of like the abstract spell art, right?
Yes.
Where sometimes like a blue card draw spell would have some really kind of like unusual art, right? Like how do you represent drawing cards? And as it turns out, it's by doing this.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And a counterspell always looks like, huh,
Yeah.
right? And I just appreciated some of the older, weirder art.
So the
that-
Go ahead. Yeah,
No,
go ahead.
I mean that was basically it.
I wanted to follow up on what you're saying with an example that came to my mind. It's Clint Clearly's Broken Concentration from Shadows over Innistrad.
either won or was nominated for a Fantasy Art Award. I forget the
Right.
name of it.
So this is kind of like the gems are more outliers now, but you still do see some of the abstraction that you're talking about.
That is a very good point.
And some like art that doesn't exactly fit with the general direction, right? You know, at the end of the day, these artists, they've been hired on their past work, and I think as long as they follow the instructions, you know, in general, they're allowed to kind of still be artists and try to leave their mark on the game and do things the way they want to. I hope. I don't know. Yeah, we've had some artists on. It seems like they're still having fun and stuff.
I was thinking about like in like say Fallen Empires or something, the thing where there was variations on cards, and it was clear that the artists weren't really given
a lot of
It's like for instance, see like Neckrite. Like, what is a Neckrite? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this?
Drew
Right?
Tucker's an important part of this conversation. He's another name that jumped to mind. Like, he got off the boat earlier than Rebecca Guay, but he also almost exclusively worked in watercolor, right?
Right,
Yeah, we're clearly it was like
And was my
Clockwork Beast.
right and
localized image not available.
That's funny. I can't see it. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Drew Tucker.
The thing is that like I understand why they have moved away from that. They are much more focused on telling a story these days.
And world building, right?
And world building, and you do that by making things look the same, right? Because they all are supposed to exist within the same universe and the same world, and I get that. But yeah, I do miss it sometimes. Like I'm not sure I necessarily miss this kind of thing.
I kind of enjoy this.
It's kind of neat, but like it doesn't feel very magic, I guess. I don't know.
You know what? This now occurs to me. Particularly Clockwork Beast there, which I believe was from Antiquities originally.
I think it's from Alpha.
Alpha?
It might be
Really?
Antiquities, but I think it's just one of the first cards, yeah.
I want a set that tells ancient history.
Okay.
Like another, like, you know how we had like the Brothers' War and Antiquities and Fallen Empires and Ice Age?
I mean, yeah, we just had Dominaria, but I
mean,
I
like
don't know if it does
Dominaria was
that.
current.
Yeah,
right?
it's
Dominaria was in
things
the current
happening. Yeah,
timeline.
they just hint
I
at
would like to see like
right? Yeah.
some kind of prehistoric, not
Okay.
prehistoric, but like, you know, mythologizing history of one of these planes.
Sure.
Done with like this kind of art where it's like very
okay.
like stylized and like looking back, and maybe we have a hazy understanding of how things looked.
Well, it's
That could be really cool.
kind of like the sagas in Dominaria.
Yes, yeah.
Like the idea is that the art on the card is a picture of art that somebody else has made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not actually a picture of the thing,
Yeah.
like a picture of a cave drawing or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a few different story or approaches they went with that. Like one of them is what's it called? A tapestry, right? Like isn't the flame of Keld? It's like a tapestry. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And like the fall of the Thran is like a monolith, right? Like it's very
Yeah.
it's very cuneiform.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool if in future unsets, promo foils, or core sets, I guess, they chose to keep straying further from the established pattern of like, okay, we're going to have pretty tight art direction, and you're going to really feel like you're on Mirrodin when you step out into Mirrodin Besieged, which I remember that set particularly, I felt like, whoa, the art direction of this set is fantastic.
Right.
Like every card, I'm like drafting and I'm just like, I just feel like I'm there. I see the ground, I see the sky, I see the little robots, and I'm just like, everything looks uniform enough that I remember the art of that set really sucking me in. And that's what you get out of this like more strictly controlled art direction.
Yeah.
But they have opportunities to go to this stuff sometimes, so it's good if they take them.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Can we see another Canlander event for the crew members who don't usually play? Yes, tonight. Adam and Cameron. And by the time you watch
3 days
this,
ago,
there'll be a VOD. But yes,
There'll be a VOD, yeah.
It's an easy answer.
it is an easy answer. That's why I decided to go for it. So go check out the VOD. It will be up either by now or within the next few days.
Yeah, I was watching Alex
news.
and Serge talk about their brews
Yeah.
in our Slacks about
should
what
be
they were
good.
planning to bring, and I'm like, uh-oh.
You're gonna have fun.
It's going to be good. Everyone preferences between old border and new bordered cards, or everyone's preferences between old border and new bordered cards thoughts on the new legendary frames. I'm personally, I don't mind the new borders. They talked about the reasoning technology-wise behind them, which was like easier for them to read and machines and stuff like that. And I don't think we've ever seen the benefit of that on our end. So I've just gotten used to them. I love the new legendary frames personally. I think they're great.
I don't dislike the new frames. I don't dislike the new legendary. I have days where I look at them and I'm like, this is all agreeably. I prefer the old frames because I'm a cranky old man and it makes me feel like I'm 12 again.
That's fair.
That's why we all like beta cards. That's what I was going to say. We were 12 when we opened them out of our booster packs, and worshiping that old card frame is being a hipster. Mm-hmm. That said, I'm guilty of it sometimes too, and I don't know. It feels the most normal, so that's like what, what's comfortable about it. But I think intellectually, yeah, every change to the card border has been an improvement, more or less.
I mean, another thing. No good albums have been made since Led Zeppelin's 4.
Right.
Like, I really enjoy the fact that they're taking some risks, and they've straight up said, like, they're not done. Like, they're going to continue to push the borders.
Like, give us the future sight casting cost in the top left.
You cowards.
Yeah, exactly.
Put that in smash, you cowards. No, but I'm excited. I think it's cool. I think experimentation and pushing those borders, as it were, is important, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here.
Like, I think it's pretty hard to argue that, especially for, like, say, white cards, that, like...
Yeah. No, the white border,
that is, like, almost illegible.
Yeah, I own a Beta Armageddon for some reason, and I was, like, looking for standard cards this morning, and I was like, why is that there? God, that looks cool. But... I think the new, the card Wrath Capuchin from Dominaria, it's like the card looks so cool. Like the border and then the art. Like there's more space for the art. The picture is actually bigger now. Not by a ton, but a little. Yeah, right? Okay, I think. I thought that was one of the advantages. They stretch it slightly. So, and yeah, I think that colored border looks sweet. The exact shape of the curly cues or whatever around the square, maybe you like it, maybe you don't, or maybe it makes you feel more or less like it's appropriate for that card, but it's still just like a little artistic flair. I think it's cute.
All right.
You got another one or what?
Yeah, I got lots here. Which format would you rather see on Arena modified to fit some system of limitations? Cube Draft, but only using sets that have existed in Arena, or Brawl, but it's 1v1?
Isn't Brawl always 1v1?
Yeah, I was going to say. I think Brawl is sort of designed to be 1v1, but...
I mean, I prefer limited to constructed, so I would say cube.
I would love a
Arena cube.
Arena cube. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Seems like a no-brainer. Arena cube.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, and if it's a Phantom Draft, it doesn't just have to be limited to cards that were in Arena.
Yeah, that's right. All right. What else we got here?
Well, I think from a coding perspective, there's no point in not letting people buy packs of a set if you're going to put it onto into the game, even if it's Phantom. It's like they still have to do all the work.
Yeah, there's no constructed format to
support it. Oh yeah, fair enough. But I mean, I don't know if there's a mandate to have a constructed format available for all of the cards. Maybe there should be. I don't know.
Yeah. Has anyone been playing Standard? If so, what decks are you guys running? I've been playing a little bit of Standard on Arena. That's one of the things that I was actually really looking forward to with Arena is getting back into Standard, getting back into Constructed Magic. I've been playing Boros Goblins, Boros Angels, because I like Boros and I like doing fast aggressive decks. And then I also put together a Selesnya-based Divine Visitation deck, which is goofy and it doesn't really work. It needs some tweaking for sure. But when it goes off, and I get all those 4/4 angels, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, no, I've been super excited to get back into Standard, so I'm hoping to continue to explore. That's honestly one of my biggest sort of gripes with Arena right now. I know it's really easy to complain about the economy, but it is a game that kind of punishes you for experimenting in draft or in Standard because it's not, unless I'm willing, and I
don't have any flexibility.
And I've dumped some money into it, full on disclosure, I put money into the game, but I'm not willing to put much more than I already have. And what I have put in has basically let me build I could probably build another standard deck, but I haven't yet. Like, I have the wild cards to do so. But, yeah, it's not great. It's definitely one of my least favorite things because I would love to be able to get cards a little bit more easily so I could sort of experiment with standard a little bit more.
Like, what is it? Do you know how much it would cost you to just own every card in standard times 4 right now?
I don't know.
I'm curious to that
I don't know
perspective,
how
and
much
I
you would
wonder
need to
if we
sink.
should like try to figure out what, because if that is some number that is like a little more than you want to spend, but then you realize like what that means, and you're like, okay, maybe I would spend that.
It's true.
Then maybe
I mean,
they should make it that. Like if it's like,
I mean,
if it's $10,000 right now, you're
it's
like, well,
not.
I can't do that.
There's no way. It's probably. I would think it's probably. It can't be more than 1,000.
Okay, 1,000
And
for
it-
4 of every mythic, 4 of every rare.
I
Yeah.
think so. And I mean, it's interesting. I don't know if anybody's actually. I'm
And then
sure
for
that
a
somebody's
subsequent
done the
set, would it
math.
only be $300? I'm curious. Yeah, it's probably Saffron Olive. Should have.
Yeah,
That guy
I
who's always
mean,
crunching numbers.
Yeah, like I'm assuming that somebody's done the math or put in the money to make it happen.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like 90 or you can get 90 packs for about $100, I believe, right? I think you can buy.
So you get 1 mythic in every 8 packs, right? Or is the code or is the distribution the same as paper? The
No,
packs also
it's-
aren't
it's-
15 cards, right?
They aren't 15 cards;
Right.
they're 8 cards, and you build up. You still build up your like wild card progress bars by opening packs, and there's still the vault, but the conversion of what percent is contributed to the vault via that copy of the 5th card is pretty low. So that's probably not the best way of going about it, but. I'm curious.
Right.
I don't know if
My-
if you know of somewhere that has done the math. Please link it below because I'm curious.
My only
so.
point is like, you have this feeling right now where you've dumped some money into Arena. And
Yes.
you have a deck that you like.
Yes.
But you would like to play another deck.
Correct.
And you have access to all the decks at a certain threshold, at which point, you would play any deck you wanted every time you played Arena, right?
Yep.
And so it's like, you're not comfortable paying that threshold, but, it's like, I wonder if Wizards could just like, make that threshold close enough to you that you're willing to stretch. Because it's like, obviously, like, say the number that you can afford is $100.
Sure.
I have a friend who put in $100 and he has basically the same story, where he's like, he built 2 decks and now he'd have to pay money to build a 3rd.
Yes.
And he realized this week that, like, okay, he made his decisions during spoiler season, or whenever Arena came out with Ravnica.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, I kind of regret one of my decks or whatever that I paid for, and I wish I could do something to build a 3rd deck instead, right?
Yeah.
But I can't afford it. So it's like, he knows maybe that if he pays $900 more, he can build any deck. But maybe if like that number was $300, then a bunch of people would do it and actually make more money, right?
Yeah.
Like, so maybe there's some tweaks to the economy in the future that can happen.
No, that's fair. And I mean, and the thing is that it's really the problem is that I could probably I don't know how much some of the top tier standard decks in paper cost right now, but my guess is
Like $400, $500.
they're probably $400, $500. And my guess is if I put $400 or $500 into Arena, I would probably, and I cracked all those packs, I would probably have more than enough to get well past halfway of having most everything in standard. And to be honest, you don't need everything in standard. You
Right.
just need everything that's playable in standard, which is a lot less, right? There are cards that just don't see play. There are a few, like there's probably...
Yeah, like this is one of them.
Well, hey,
I had to go for it. It was
it's
just one
so
thing.
mean.
Yeah.
I do not regret building this deck.
Happy birthday.
But yeah, but then you don't. But the problem is that with Arena, there's just no way of getting that back, right?
Yeah.
It's like congratulations, you own 4 Divine Visitations. Good job.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there is nothing you can do with those. You can't dust them. You can't trade them. You can't do anything, and that doesn't feel super great when
These could have been like,
when I want to be using this program for standard, but it kind of feels like that's not what it's for.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest
Okay.
problem is that I think people are trying to make Arena something that it's not quite.
Okay.
Is I
Shouldn't
think
it
what
be
the
for standard?
problem.
You can play all the cards now. And you
And-
can play
and that's
competitive
the-
tournaments too, can't you?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, I mean, competitive tournaments.
You can
in
play
the
2 out of
sense
3 matches, right?
Yes.
And there's prizes.
Yes.
And if you play, I think I heard if you play those standard matches, you actually can get back what you put in so that you could chain those forever.
Yes.
Right? Okay,
Correct.
so that sounds like it's for standard then.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? It
Okay.
does, but it's not. It's just not as easy as MTGO is for standard, where I can just go into MTGO and go to a bot and say, okay, I need these 75 cards.
Right.
Done. I'm done.
Right. So it's okay. So MTGO maybe still has going for it that like you can maybe get into your standard deck for cheaper because of the way the economy works.
I was going to say that I want to play Burn.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, so I've been playing Niv Mizzet. Yeah, I have
Yeah.
been trying various different Izzet decks. I think tonight I'm going to actually put the Nivs in the sideboard and try the all Drakes, really cheap spells. Because I've been playing Arclight Phoenix and Niv.
I've got that itch in my bones. It's time to sleeve up Gutter Snipe.
Yeah.
Got
As
that.
as one point of data, I was just looking. There's a post on the Magic Arena subreddit. A guy in China spent about $1,200
Okay.
to open 1,400 packs.
Yeah.
To get a full set
Okay.
To get a full set.
of everything.
He probably has a full set and
everything-
some spare wilds
well,
or something.
presumably
or-
there's like
yeah.
quite a bit of extra stuff. And
Right.
yeah, saying
So that might be the
apparently
cap, like
average-
1,200 US or something. Yeah.
The average is about 10 mythic rares in a set of 90 packs.
Okay.
So
All right then.
that's just, I would imagine, depending on what you're doing, there's different, and how lucky you are and whatever, that's not necessarily, and, how it works in terms of, theoretically, as you're going, it gets sort of progressively less packs because more things are being thrown away into the vault or whatever. But anyway, that's one piece of data from a couple months ago.
I think they probably will get Modern on there because they're going to face the issue pretty soon of, like in a year, obviously, of what are people going to do with these cards they've paid for and now aren't legal and standard,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they're going to want an answer to that. Like they're to keep
I
the
mean,
players around. They
the
want
easiest
to
answer
that.
there is that, like, so they've already programmed cards that aren't even on Arena anymore because
Well, Kaladesh.
Kaladesh was available on Arena and now it's no longer not because it rotated. So I think it would make complete sense to just have a eternal Arena format, even if that isn't
Starts from Kaladesh.
starts from Kaladesh or starts from. I mean, it makes sense to start from Kaladesh because again, they have that programmed into the client. There's no reason for them to just not just bring it back and be like, all right, this is what was available. This is the oldest set that is available that is programmed into this program right now, and that's what you're going to get for now. And you have basically modern Arena.
And actually, MTGO did this. They called it was like classic, or like there was some other name for extended or something back then. Like, and MTGO started around. Actually, I want to say Odyssey, something like that, like around the year 2000. Maybe it was Onslaught Block, somewhere in there. MTGO first came around, and so it didn't have like Mirage Block, it didn't have Tempest Block. It was like started with the new set, and then after the first year, it had Standard, and then they started releasing the old sets eventually, and they did a bunch of flashback drafts and even block constructed seasons for those old sets concurrently with new Standard sets, and then eventually they're like, okay, all of Legacy is actually now available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe this is the sign. It's, as Modern started with Mirrodin, Arena's Eternal format can start with another Artifact Matters.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Another busted-ass Artifact block.
it behooves them to do at least that, have Arena Modern starting with Kaladesh forward, just so that you can still play
those cards.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still
Play the
your
cards you
constant
paid for.
Dominaria that you paid for. Yeah, exactly.
All right. This is a fun one. If you could pick a card to cast IRL, like the effect of it happens to you, like Giant Growth makes you super swole, what would you pick?
Whoa.
I mean, I like the idea of casting Giant Growth to make me swole.
I've got mine.
Yeah, what's yours?
Divine Intervention.
Okay.
Angels come down and stop all wars,
All right.
and then also establish themselves as Earth's governors.
All right.
That
wow.
second piece isn't really
Okay.
part of the card, but why wouldn't they do that?
Okay.
Yeah. All battles are now a draw.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like I don't waste enough time in my life, so Sensei's Divining Top.
I thought you were going to say
would
waste not.
I mean, look at me, right? I'm just like perennially fidgeting with things, so I think Sensei's Divining Top would actually just be really, like, I get a lot of mileage out of that one.
That's fair.
How about you?
Lightning Bolt.
I thought you were going to say Lightning Bolt weirdly.
Is that just like that thing where you're like, you're sitting in traffic,
Yeah.
watching somebody like not knowing what lane they're in, and maybe their turn signal's on, and you're just like, I just want one Hellfire missile per year. That's it. Just one drone strike per year.
I don't want to kill
Give it
them.
out.
No, see, with the lightning bolt, I don't want to kill somebody.
Yeah.
I just want to scare them.
Your opponent,
Right. I
your
just wanna
opponent on a
be lightning
brawl
bolt.
on Friday Night Paper Fight is kind of tilting you about deciding
Yeah.
what to do after they took 10 minutes on their turn, and you're just like,
Exactly.
All
right. Hey, Cam, what's your storm count record?
I think I got it up to like, I don't know, 30 something once before my opponent's like,
Just stop.
right? Because like you get into this thing where you don't really realize that you're BMing.
Is this when you're playing Modern Storm or which
Yeah,
Storm
Modern
deck?
Storm.
Oh, okay. I mean, I would always just sit there and wait for you until you show me the burn spell, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, yeah, it's entirely possible.
Unless I
You
know it's
brick.
in your hand from Gifts Ungiven.
Yeah.
You've Gifts Ungiven and put Grape Shot in your hand.
Yeah,
or whatever,
like
then-
once you gift ungiven and you're up to like 19, then the game is over,
Yeah.
right? But like sometimes you're just really into the thing where you're like, oh wait, I can retreat again and do this again. Storm counts 30 something, and your opponent's just like, Judge, slow play.
I mean,
Like,
Hamon Cat and Ether Revolt both gave us stifles for Modern, so it's possible people are just jamming those. But I guess usually
yeah.
you know.
All right.
all
Is
right.
that good? I had a few I'll do quickly. We also
right.
mentioned Niv Mizzet. So someone asked me for my Hidetsugu second right deck on Twitter, and I posted it in Twitter. I can try to post it underneath this one too. But yeah, Hidetsugu's second right is, or Hidet, I think it's Hidet, if you're looking for it. It's from Kamigawa. 3 generic and 1 red instant for a spell that says deal 10 damage to target player if their life total is exactly 10. So this is this cheeky card you can include if you're playing a Highlander deck with Mystical Tutor. And I would often do that in a blue-red kind of tempo-y deck. Not usually including Blood Moons and a lot of big payoff cards or a ton of card draw. More sort of low to the ground, kind of like a blue-red Delver deck. And I would just include like every divided damage burn spell.
Doesn't this combo pretty sweet with Sorin?
Yeah, so you can
Sorin
also
markup.
play it in a deck with 3 black symbols Sorin if you want. Yeah,
I didn't say it was a good idea. I'm just saying it's a combo.
No, we joke about it every time I kill someone with this,
Yeah,
right?
it's like-
Or there's also a 7 mana Esper and 4 generic for a creature that does the same thing. ETBs makes someone's life total 10. So you can have like
Oh,
4
yeah,
color
yeah, yeah.
second
Yeah,
rates
it's
if you
Sphinx.
want to. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can definitely do that. Yeah, so I'll include that list. It's from the last time I think I played it on LRR. But generally the idea is you're playing Goblin Guide, Delver of Secrets, some draw, some burn, some counters, and then like your curve kind of stops at 4, and it's like mostly 1, 2, 3, and then
Okay.
yeah, you definitely have to play Mystical Tutor.
Okay.
Okay, other questions quickly. What was the most interesting piece of advice I got as a parent? And I would say interesting one is sleep when your baby sleeps, because it sounds super like it's a flowery kind of useless thing for someone to tell you, and then you actually have a baby, and so you need to take
Parenting
advantage.
advice over here on Tap Conceit today.
That's what I got asked on
All right,
Twitter.
yeah,
when
that's fair, that's
I didn't.
fair.
I didn't
You
exactly
didn't
solicit
you
that.
didn't specify magic questions.
I said me or magic. So yeah, recently I've just been like, that sleep when your baby sleeps one is just kind of good. And
Yeah,
it's
just-
surprising how relevant it is.
I'm also gonna try that. Can you let me know?
Well,
me
next
just
I'll text
just
you
give me a
when my
sweet,
baby's
just give
asleep.
me a quick
Baby's
text. Be
asleep,
like,
just like-
my kid's asleep. Perfect. I'm
Do
gonna
it.
nap.
I think you're going to be on Twitch at the time. But yeah, that's fine.
Nap time.
Okay, I had one more. I'm trying to remember. Oh, right. So someone asked me if I'm petitioning to change Canlander to something else, the name of it. And actually, since I don't like their name suggestion, but I would like to petition, since they asked, to change Canlander to Canadian Highlander. That's what I like saying more than that.
I mean, nobody that's not like that's just that's what it's actually called. People just shorthand it to Canlander, right?
Yeah,
I don't really like Canlander either. Canadian Highlander sounds a little bit better. All right.
We've got the time. We're saying Highlander. Let's take all
the
4 syllables of Canadian
That's
as
fair.
well.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, those were my Twitter questions. Now you know.
All right, cool. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out today. That was a lot of fun. Appreciate all the questions. Again, follow at LRRMTG on Twitter if you want a chance to get questions in the next time we do one of these, which at this point will probably be the new year, so you got lots of time.
Nicknames next week, maybe for sure.
I really, really hope that we get to do nicknames next week. I don't want to 100% guarantee it, but we're going to try. So you can look forward to that next Monday. And then, of course, we're getting real close to Desert Bus. If you don't know what Desert Bus is, desertbus.org, go check it out. It's a yearly charity event that we do. We're heading into our 12th year. We've raised well over $4.5 million in the last 11 years. It's a really good time. It's a lot of fun. It's like a week of entertainment. So yeah, desertbus.org. Check that out. Really quickly want to thank, again, at the end of the show, Card Kingdom, cardkingdom.com/LRR. Hey, remember, if at the end of your order you say button, please, they will send you one of our buttons. And I don't remember which button it is right now. I think it's the Dies 2 and then Doomblade,
Trophy, yeah.
and then that's basically
right.
in front of something else, and then it ends with Assassin's Trophy. So that's the current button. I'm almost positive that's the current button because I literally was at Card Kingdom the other day and I saw that. I also got the we're out of Loading Ready Run buttons button.
Nice.
Which they still apparently have no idea where those came from, which I think is hilarious.
Awesome.
So again, thank you, Card Kingdom, for your support, and thank you to everybody over at Patreon, patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun. Again, we just simply couldn't do any of this without your support, so go check that out. I'm James, he's Cameron, that's Nelson. We'll be back next week for more Tap, Tap, Concede, hopefully with nicknames, I promise. Bye.